Shalom, shalom, family. It's been a minute. Been busy with the ministry. As you guys can see, each week we got Shabbat Talk. If you ain't checking in on Shabbat Talk, make sure you tune in. We are live every week, every Sabbath. You know, sometimes we go over, you know, the biblical texts and different topics. I teach from that perspective. And then we also do Righteous Reactions, which is a kind of a video review. We watch these different video clips and then we react to them, right? We share our thoughts and some of them are concerns, right? But it's all from a biblical perspective. And then we also once a month we do trivia night, which is basically Bible trivia. Everybody get together. We cover a certain portion of our weekly readings that we read together as a group. And, you know, it's a little competitive, but it's good, you know. So check it out, man. Shabbat Talk is really where it's at. It's a different vibe. It's different from anything else that I've seen out there. You know, it's engaging. It encourages people to read. It encourages people to learn the word of the Most High and to apply it to their lives, right? And that's what we're here to do. But I was talking to my wife last night when I picked her up from the airport, and you know, we got to talking about a lot of different things. But one of the things that stood out to me was we got on the topic of people and their need to attach themselves or associate themselves or subject themselves under the leadership of someone in regards to their spiritual guidance, right? And I understand to an extent why this is, because it's a foundational and fundamental part of these organized man-made religions, right? But a lot of us have come out of those things, whether it be Christianity, Hebrew Israelite, Buddhist, Muslim, Jewish, whatever, right? We've come out of those things to understand that that's not, you know, where the truth lies. And so we've elevated our level of consciousness and we've sought out a different path to understanding the truth of the Most High, right? But old habits die hard, right? Old habits die hard. And I'm noticing that even in this awaken, you know, I say that term loosely, even in this awakening movement of reading and studying and getting closer to the Most High outside of the traditional and conventional methods of organized religion, there's still a lot of religious habits and behaviors, and one of which is this need to constantly attach ourselves to someone with a title, whether it be a pastor, preacher, teacher, elder, rabbi, captain, general, depending on, you know, your different religious denomination, right? It's this need to have somebody that you want to lead you. When you see across the landscape that so many people are being led astray, when you see this, why is there not any more like caution? Why isn't there any more skepticism and reluctance to attach ourselves to these figures? Now, don't get me wrong. If you follow someone and they are righteous and you judge them by their fruits, right? Not by what they say or how they dress or how they post on social media, or, you know what I'm saying? Or what their YouTube videos look like. But you should know them by their fruit. Do they speak the word of Elohim? Do they teach the word of Elohim? Do they live according to the word of Elohim? If it's someone like that, then I understand, you know, being associated with. But a lot of these people aren't doing these things, and yet they have these massive followings. And when you talk to the people, they're just blindly following them. And then you ask them, like, why do you do this, or why are you following these imposters? And the reaction is they're looking at you like, why wouldn't I be? I need that leadership. I need that. Like, no, I've always encouraged your own independent relationship with the Most High. Even when I was in religion, as a Christian, I still believe that regardless of what church you went to, regardless of what denomination you were a part of, regardless of all of that, you need to still read your word, and you still need to pray and have your own relationship with Him. I hated the fact that people were living their spiritual lives vicariously through their relationship with their pastor. Your pastor isn't your link to the Most High. You are your link to the Most High. Your pastor is just there to help cultivate, right? Help you grow, help you understand things better, teach you things that maybe you didn't learn on your own. But you're supposed to, even if you, and I'm saying this in a church setting because most people go to church or some form of it, right? You're supposed to be able to sit in the pews, if that's what you want to do. We'll get on the institution of church at a later time, a later date. The systemic issues I have with church. But you're supposed to be able to sit in the pews and listen to the sermon being preached, and that is supposed to agree with and confirm what you have already been reading and learning. And occasionally it should be some new things where you go like, oh man, I haven't read that, or oh man, I haven't covered that, I haven't studied that. Man, that's really good. I need to go home and fact check what he just said. That's what you're supposed to be doing in them pews. Not blindly listening to him. Well, yeah, pastor said, teach it. Hey. All of that nastiness. This is stupid. You're supposed to hear whatever's being said, taught, preached, whatever. And it's supposed to resonate with you. Resonate with your spirit. Not just sound good and get you emotional. Okay? It's supposed to complement what you already is. You are the foundation. You're the foundation. Everything, all the information that you receive is supposed to come up against what you've already laid the foundation with. And it may add to it. It may go up against it and crumble. It just depends, right? Because not all information is good information. But I wanted you guys to really think about where you are in your walk. Are you reading enough? Are you studying enough? Are you seeking the Most High independently of anybody? I'm not saying don't get a mentor. I'm not saying that having a pastor is wrong. I'm saying that shouldn't be your direct link to the Most High. You shouldn't rely on those things. Your reliance is upon Messiah. Okay? Your reliance is upon Messiah. Your reliance is upon the Holy Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh. And your reliance is upon the faith in knowing that anything that you need in this world is provided by the grace of the Most High. Once you have that first and foremost, everything else falls into place. We should stop feeling like we need to be attached at the hip to a teacher. Like we need to be led. Right? I see this more with sisters, and I understand from a perspective of, having a spiritual covering, having a leader, and a lot of our sisters are uncovered, right? And that's an entirely different topic. But even as a sister, you should really be very selective with who you listen to. Okay? Think about that. Think about who you're listening to. Think about who you're being attached to. Don't be so quick to just check that box and have somebody that where you feel comfortable with. You're in your comfort zone and you're unwilling to be uncomfortable because this comfort is probably what's going to allow you to grow and get to the next level in your walk in relationship with the Most High. He's trying to grow you, but you can't, because you're holding on to a crutch, which is actually probably leading you astray. Think about it.